Welcome back, my beautiful people, to STR News and Digest, your one-stop shop for everything related to short-term rentals, travel, and the business of hospitality. We're in the second week of September, and slow season has started. But on the positive side, football is here, my friends. At least we got football, right? But let's dive right into today's digest. All right, my beautiful people. I have a lot of news. Not the great majority, but I'm going to start right off the bat with a lot of the stuff that Airbnb is doing. And once again, they're in the news, and for not necessarily some good things, right? At least for if you're a host. If you're a traveler, some of the stuff is actually very good for you. But if you're a host, once again, Airbnb has proven that they are not your friend, right? We need them. That's why I said for many years now that I have had a love-hate relationship with Airbnb. But let me begin with what they just rolled out. They have rolled out a new feature. Now, this is only for U.S. People in the U.S. It has not gone out international. It's only for the U.S. And what they have done is that they're allowing guests to reserve with zero upfront money, meaning you can now go into the Airbnb app and book a property without putting any money down until the policy kicks in, meaning the cancellation policy, until that kicks in. So let's give you a hypothetical. Let's say you're coming to Miami, you're from New York, you're coming to Miami for the Christmas holiday. Right now, you can go on the platform and book and not worry about putting any money on that property until the cancellation policy kicks in. So most cases and most property owners or most hosts currently have a flexible cancellation policy. And let me take a side step here or side note on that, right? If you are a host, I'm telling you, you need to be flexible. I know that a lot of you guys don't want to be flexible. You want that strict cancellation policy, but I'm telling you, you're losing out. Number one, Airbnb doesn't like it, so they're not pushing you. They're not going to show you to a potential guest, and you're losing revenue there. And number two, most guests today, they need that flexibility. I talked about the book lead time, right? And in my case, the book lead time is very short. It's less than 2 weeks, right? My calendar, I can go into a month and the calendar could be only 50% occupied, but I can finish with an 80% occupancy rate. But it's because people are waiting to the last minute to book. With this new policy, now I think we're going to start to see our calendars be booked again, but be prepared for cancellations, right? Because people are going to book it. And because they have no skin in the game, once it comes up, the likelihood of them canceling increases, right? Because there's no skin in the game for this. So that's their new policy. That's what they're rolling out. I have mixed feelings about it. For me personally, as my business goes, I like this policy, right? Even though I know that a lot of people, not a lot, I know that some people are going to book and cancel, but I'd rather have that and be prepared than go into a month with nothing. Because that in the beginning, that would give me a lot of anxiety when I'm going into a month and I'm at 50% occupied, right, in my properties. And the book lead time changes on a regular basis. So sometimes it's good and sometimes it's not. But keep that in mind. The second thing, now this one this one's difficult for me, right? I personally hate this one. And Airbnb. So let me talk about it. First of all, let me talk about it. Airbnb has shifted to a host-only fee platform. Now, to be fair, they're not the only ones to do this. Booking.com is a host-only fee platform, right? There's a couple of others that are host-only fees. Well, Airbnb, starting October 27, is going to be a host-only fee platform, meaning that in the past, for example, I was paying, and until October 27, I pay a 3% booking fee to Airbnb when someone books my property. That's Airbnb's commission on my properties when someone books. That is going from 3% to 15.5%. That is insane, right? Now, again, to be fair, Booking.com is a 15% booking fee. And I don't remember all of them off the top of my head, but there are others that are at 15%. But this is a killer for me. And people watching, and I'm talking about travelers, I'm not talking about a host right now, do not think that this is a good thing for you, because it is not a good thing for you, because all I'm doing is I'm going to put that cost by raising my rates. Every host, and if you're listening, you're going to see this. It's going to be more expensive to book on Airbnb going forward, even though if you listen to Airbnb's argument, it's a net, right? Net for each, because the bottom dollar is going to be the same. Airbnb charges you a booking fee and doesn't charge us, but now they're going to charge us, so we need to charge you. So you're still going to pay, regardless of what happens. You're still paying, right? I don't know why they're making this move. I personally think it's a mistake. But I am not, I'm not in their world. I don't know what studies they have done. I don't know why they think this is a better formula when they are the kings right now. Right now, Airbnb is the king. And if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? So I don't understand why they keep changing things when they shouldn't be. I talked about Booking.com and how they are quickly, when I say quickly, very quickly, eating up Airbnb's margins, or eating up a lot of the market cap that they have, and they continue to make these stupid mistakes. Pretty soon you're going to have the option to book on Booking or Verbal, right, and pay less than if you book at Airbnb. So I don't understand the logic behind this move by Airbnb, but nonetheless, if you're a host, be on the lookout for this, and you're going to have to adjust your pricing accordingly, because now you're going from 3%. If you're in my shoes, right? Because I know that a couple of years ago, maybe 2 years ago, for new accounts that have less than 5 properties, I believe, you're paying close to this. You're not paying the 15%, I don't think, but you're paying more than the 3% that I was paying. But for me and those that have been around as long as I have, this is a big increase. So again, it's not coming out of my pocket. It's going to come out of the people that book my property, out of their pocket, because I have to raise my rates now to make up for the difference. Again, I don't see the logic. All right. Oh, guys, reminder, if you're watching, please comment below, say hi, so that Lorena can tell me, or let me show the comments. Wow, there's a lot of comments out here. Lorena says hi, Marushka, Valentina. All right, guys. Again, thank you guys for watching. If you have any questions or comment, just list them below. If you're watching this on replay, still say hi. I'll be on here and I'll still reply to you. So go ahead and do that. Hi, Chris. So let me continue with the next story that I want to talk about, and that is the job market. if you saw that the jobs report came out, the job report was lukewarm, right? It wasn't great, it wasn't horrible, but it wasn't great. But if you break that down to the hospitality sector, the hospitality sector actually saw an increase. So we are actually supporting these job numbers by making sure that they're not horrible. So the hospitality market itself, even though it's a modest increase, is still an increase, and we're actually seeing that demand is still there. We're not seeing the big demands that we saw before. I've said this a million times. I said this a lot lately, that the days of just post-COVID, right? The days of 2021 and 2022 and even 2023 are gone. We're not going to see those numbers in a while, but we're still seeing some positive numbers. So I'm pretty happy about that. All right, next thing I want to talk about, and I mentioned this at last week's STR, is the recent ruling in favor of Google, right? Google got lucky and they won that antitrust. It's a mixed report, but it was majority good for Google. And if you're not familiar with it, there a lot of travel companies sued Google because of their stranglehold on the search engine for them. For example, Expedia pays Google a ridiculous amount of money to be shown on the first page, right? So if you're on Vrbo, Vrbo is part of Expedia. If you are on, let's say, Wednesday, Marriott, right, you're not going to show up on the first page. So that these companies actually sued Google, but they lost, right? Google, the ruling was in favor of Google, and Google's allowed to do what they're doing because they are a business, right? So if you want to read that ruling, go ahead and do that. It's on the internet right now. But this reinforces the importance of optimizing your listing and using solid SEO strategies for your own booking website, right? I've been saying this probably now for the last 3 years over and over again. Marketing is huge and hugely important if you are a business owner. Don't go cheap on marketing. In fact, if you're struggling in your business, if your business isn't growing as fast as you want it to grow, or is stagnant, or you're actually losing business, you need to double down on marketing. Not retract it. No, increase it exponentially if you want to stay in the game. Hugely important. And this ruling, actually, part of it, if you actually look at it, really shows the importance of SEO strategies for your website and your ability to market that property. Next, now I've been talking about this for a while, but now, and if you're not aware of this, you will be now. TikTok and Booking.com have created a partnership. I've said this before. TikTok and Instagram have become, I don't know if they're actually number one right now, but they were definitely coming close to being number one as a search engine for travel, right? Now, TikTok users in the US, again, this only applies to the US, can now book hotels directly through the app. And it's thanks to Booking.com. They did this integration with them. Again, going back to Airbnb and how Booking.com is spanking that booty, right? The Booking.com is making huge moves in the US market, right? They are number one in Europe. They're number one in South America. They want that North America market that right now Airbnb has, but Airbnb keeps making stupid decisions that I don't think it's going to help them. But nonetheless, right now you can go on, and this is why you have to have social media, guys. If you're a host, your properties need to be on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok, right? And YouTube, but YouTube to not necessarily for direct bookings. YouTube is, in my opinion, is more to advertise your property, but to create another revenue stream. But that's a subject for another video. And if you're interested in me doing a video specifically on the importance of YouTube as an additional revenue source, then comment below and I'll think about doing that video. But if you are a creator, right, this is important for you. If you're a creator, you can now earn commissions by tagging listings. I mean, I may do a video just on TikTok and Instagram and their partnership with Booking.com. But this is big, people. I've been talking about this for the longest. I think I mentioned this in the past. I get a lot of revenue or a lot of clients because of my social media, because of YouTube, right? You need to have a very strong presence. Again, it goes hand in hand with marketing. I can't express how important it is. And this partnership, I am telling you, is going to explode Booking.com, number one, but it's also going to explode even more because creators can make money on TikTok now. Creators have been TikTok is for a creator. TikTok has been very, very good to them, right? It's gotten even better now. I hope Facebook and Instagram does the same thing because it's going to be a huge revenue source. And having said that, if you are not, or if you know of an influencer, I highly recommend you start reaching out to them and start creating some kind of partnership with them so they can market your properties. All right, the next one, I'm excited about the next story because I've been talking about this for a while. And I mentioned how the traditional 3-bedroom, 2-bath house being listed on Airbnb is not where I'm personally investing my money anymore. I'm not putting my money on that. That market is oversaturated. But Skift, again, they do bunch of studies, just came out with the fact that glamping, for the first time, it's equal to traditional camping, right? For a while, glamping has been, closing in on camping. But right now, glamping holds a 29% of the market share in terms of camping or glamping, the glamping market, right? The alternative market, right? So luxury tents, domes, yurts, they are it right now. That's the niche. They just passed regular camping. And in terms of market share overall, it's 29%, people. That's why I invested so much money in my vineyard. That's why I invested the money that I did in Colombia, because glamping is where, if you're looking to invest in the short-term rental world, that's where you should be putting your money in. I can't express how quickly this market is growing. So the last thing I want to talk about is before I get into some deals, because we're in slow season, I'm going to give you some phenomenal travel deals in a second, but some upcoming industry events. If you are a short-term rental operator, September 15th to the 17th, which is right around the corner in Orlando, the FARB, the FAVR Vacation Rental Extravaganza, however you say that name, is going to take place. It's the largest STR gathering in Florida. It's going to happen this weekend. There's going to be workshop, vendors, showcase. The who's are going to be there. Highly recommend, if you are an operator, to go there this weekend. I'm sorry, is it this weekend? It's the 15th to the 17th. I think it's this weekend. Let me look again. No, I'm sorry. It's Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. I will be there. So if you see me, say hi. Next, what's the other thing I want to talk about is there's the PMI, the summit, which is for all, if you're a PMI franchisee, the summit is in September as well. And then you also have the Glamping Show of America. I will be here as well, which is September 30th to October 1st in Aurora, Colorado. It is North America's premier glamping event. Again, if you want to see where the future is going in short-term rentals, this is one of the places you need to go to. Okay. That's going to be it. But let me give you some hot deals, people. JetBlue. I'm going to go over these numbers real quick. Let me bring it up. Boom, 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 boom. All right, JetBlue. I didn't know this. It's just coming up, but JetBlue is celebrating the fact that they had 113 daily departure from Fort Lauderdale. So if you live in the South Florida area and Fort Lauderdale is your hub, take advantage of this deal. Right now, you can fly anywhere JetBlue goes nonstop. That's the key. Anywhere JetBlue goes nonstop for $113 or less. I'm going to give you some crazy numbers here, right? New Orleans, $49. Pittsburgh, $49. San Pedro Sula, El Salvador, $54. The Grand Cayman, $64. St. Martinique, $89. Aruba, $109. Cartagena, Colombia, $113. You also have some Raleigh and Durham, North Carolina for $54. Guatemala City, $69. And Atlanta, $69. And there's many, many more. All destinations that are from Fort Lauderdale, nonstop flights, $113 or less. That's just one. Next is going to be for Europe, business class. You have Air Europa. Let me give you some of these airlines. Air Europa, Iberia, and why is this not working now? There's one more. There is one more. Air Europa, Iberia, and where is the next? LATAM. Right now, you can fly business class to Europe. There's like 5 different destinations. I know Madrid is one of them. Porto's the other one. Lisbon is the third, and I can't remember the last 2. But you can fly business class anywhere from the eastern ports, right? New York on down, the major hubs, for $1,200, guys. $1,200 business class. But you have to fly in the month of September or October, and September is almost done. So those are the deals. If there's no questions, let me look to see. No questions. Guys, thank you for watching. If you have any questions, again, list them. Love you guys, and I'll see you on the next one.